Hey, welcome everyone back to the Rock Fantasy YouTube vlog. And we're back with a special Orange County Fair edition. We have the Orange County Fair here in Middletown for those folks that are local or live in the New York State area or whatever, like to come attend. And Ron Weber is the guy in charge of this and booking the bands and everything. We're glad to have him on board tonight. And we also have some members from Beach Floyd here, which are a Pink Floyd show, Pink Floyd tribute for say. They did play the fair last year. Unfortunately, got played in a torrential rainstorm. So the fair is rain or shine for the band. So I was lucky enough to hang out and watch them, and they were just incredible last year. But let's kick it over to Ron, and maybe Ron, you can go over the schedule for the fair because you've got a lot of great bands playing every night. Then we'll talk to Beach Floyd about what they've been up to. Welcome.
Sure. You just want to know about the band. Oh, thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
Yeah, let's what's the schedule? When does the fair start?
The fair starts on July 14th and goes through the 31st. We're open basically weekends. We say weekends, but it's Thursday through Sunday each week. So we've got a few things returning. We have the famous Banana Derby, your buddy there, Gilligan, Steve,
Yeah.
you know, the monkey.
Yeah.
Will be back riding his dog.
Yeah.
And we have the Hatford Circus back, full circus in the arena. You know, it's pretty cool because you really, for the fair admission for $10, you can see an entire circus that you'd pay $25, $30 to go see somewhere else. So
Yeah.
that's free with admission in the arena.
Yeah.
We have a really nice petting zoo there that you can meet all the animals and do your thing. And we knew this year we have a comedy hypnotist, Ben Jackson. So that's always a pretty cool show. You know, people get up on stage and all kinds of things happen, and they do all kinds of crazy things they otherwise wouldn't. Pink Floyd might play some other music. Who knows when they're hypnotized? I don't know what they do.
They might. He might hypnotize them to play Yes instead of Pink Floyd.
They're gonna play ABBA or something.
ABBA. Just realized.
So yeah, and then as you know, I know, big reason why we're here is and of course we have the rides too, and the exhibits and things like that. So big draw, lots of stuff to do, really cool layout, and lots of food too. But for the bands, that's become a real popular thing because we built the little amphitheater, we call it there, the barn amphitheater, and like I think we said last year, we used to have the biggest names in rock or in music really at one time, but that's when you could afford them. Nowadays with the corporate ownership and all that stuff, it makes it really, really tough to get anything. And there's less and less of them out there anymore touring and, getting older and all that stuff. So we were thinking, what can we do to keep that enthusiasm going and continue to have that kind of music? And we started looking into these tribute bands, and there's some great national touring tribute bands that sound as good or frankly sometimes better than the original band does because they really devote themselves to the music and the stage shows and all the things that we do. And we had a fantastic lineup of them last year, and we're going to have a really cool lineup of them again this year. So just to go over, opening night, we took a little different tack than rock, but we have Prince, Tom Ford, the Beautiful Ones. They have a great show. They tour all over the place, and they're doing real well with their show. Then we have Completely Unchained, which is a Van Halen tribute that I actually just saw them in Virginia here last week. They were really, really good, really good. And I've seen Van Halen myself a zillion times. So they were supposed to play on the last day last year, but because of the logistics and the schedule with Toby Keith, we couldn't have music going on at the same time, so we had to cancel them, unfortunately, but we invited them back and they're going to be there. So Completely Unchained, and it's 8 o'clock on Friday. All shows are 8 o'clock unless it's the Sunday shows. Okay. Saturday, the first weekend, we have Guns N' Roses, Night Train. That was a great show. You were there, weren't you, Steve?
Oh yeah, they sounded amazing.
And they look amazing.
They look just like the band. It's just uncanny how, I said to myself one night when I was there, that between that band and the AC/DC band, I know you're going to talk about in a little bit. It was like, guys sound great and they look just like Brian Johnson. And it was a lot cheaper.
That guy from AC/DC band. I mean,
Yeah.
I swear it is Brian Johnson. I think he's moonlighting or something. I mean, he looks exactly like him, sounds exactly like him, sings like him. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, we're doing something a little different on the Sundays. We try to do, last year we did things like Van Morrison and some other stuff.
Mhm.
But this year, the first weekend, we're going to do it's actually a rock band, a Christian rock band called Building 429. And they have a big stage show and a big show, but we figured we'd try something to appeal to a little different market than we normally do and see how that,
Sure.
so far, it's actually been doing very well. But from what I hear, our stage guy who you met, Caleb, has done these guys a bunch of times. He said they put a great show on. So it's a real rock show and a lot of music. So that should be fun. And then we move on to the second week. On Thursday, we have the Red Hot Chili Peppers, which is a national touring Red Hot Chili Peppers band.
Yeah.
Then on Friday, we actually have a double header. Look at the mistake I made, but that's neither here nor there.
Was that why?
Yeah. I mixed up some dates.
Double booked day.
I was horse trading and I got in a little thing, but we decided to put them both on. What the heck? So we have Metallica or Battery at 7 o'clock. And just to refresh your memory, Battery was the band that when Metallica did their cover band or garage band tour, I think it was called.
Yes.
They played all covers, and then they hired a band to play the Metallica songs. Battery was the band that they hired. So this is a Metallica endorsed band, and they did a fantastic job. I thought they, when you look at these Metallica cover bands, tribute bands, a lot of times they're either just the thrash part or they're the pop hits or whatever.
Yeah.
But these guys really spanned everything. I thought they did a great job. And then the aforementioned Live Wire at 9 o'clock. So that's just an incredible doubleheader that you shouldn't miss. Actually, the whole weekend's gonna be great. So they did a great job, played everything from the catalog. It was just awesome. And then Saturday we have the famous Beach Floyd,
yes,
out of Virginia Beach there, who played for hours in the rain. It was unbelievable. And last year they did a great job. They really did. Beach Floyd, I've seen them a couple times here in Virginia too, where they are. And they do some cool things too on stage. Sometimes they'll play to a movie soundtrack, or not a soundtrack, but to a movie up on the stage while they do it. So those are pretty cool shows, or maybe try to work something like that out, but we've got to figure out all the logistics. Then Sunday, Steve, this is for you. No music, but we're going to have Lucha Libre.
I saw you have some pro wrestling coming back to the fair. And
so Mexican pro wrestling.
I
guys
think
with masks on.
I see some got masks, some don't, but I'm glad that you're bringing pro wrestling back to the fair, because the fair has a long history, as you know, of pro wrestling. I mean, back in the day, I saw Andre the Giant there, and Big John Studd, and Bruno Sammartino, as a kid.
If we stick around for the weekend, do you think we can get in on a little tag match?
Absolutely.
What do you say, Kevin?
Who's going to be the contestants from Beach Floyd? Are you going to wrestle each other, or are you challenging Ron?
We can have a wrestle off to see who starts.
Yeah.
So you got Lucha Libre, and then the following.
Yeah, I think that should be a lot of fun. The following week, we've got Thursday night. We have Original. She played for us last year, opening for the Iron Maidens. Abby Kay, you remember her?
Yeah, she was great. Yeah, she was very
great.
Yeah,
so
cool.
It's a Thursday night. It's also we do a lot of promotions on Thursday, so that night is buy one get one free wristbands.
Oh wow!
And the Thursday before with the Red Hot Chili Peppers is carload night, which is really popular, obviously.
And that Thursday night is also the Super Dirt Series modifieds on the Speedway. Yeah.
And then Friday, do we have anything on Friday?
Yeah, Friday we luckily, and I'm so glad that you allowed us to do this for the first time ever. And we're going to do an episode completely on this next week with the bands involved. We're going to do our first open air for the Rock Fantasy anniversary. Our store's been open for 36 years. Last November, we're going to celebrate in grand style on the Midway, and we're going to have Eyes of the Nile, which are the East Coast premier Iron Maiden tribute that Ron set up. And then I went out and got some other talent. I've got Pure Steer recording artist Last Pharaoh, who's a local band, has a couple, I think, putting out their second album, and they opened up for a lot of bands and play at the Chance up here in Poughkeepsie a lot. And they're going to be playing. And we also have another very special guest who is a big fan of doing local stuff, lives in the area, Chris Caffery from the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and of course the band Sabotage. And he also is a solo artist too, Chris is, but he's going to be coming up and meeting the fans and coming up on stage and playing a couple songs with Eyes of the Nile. And we're starting that show at 7 o'clock, so it's a little earlier. So kind of like both Fridays, you've got the Friday before with a doubleheader, and you've got a doubleheader of hard rock, heavy metal 2 weeks in a row. And we're hoping to pack it in. We've been trying to really promote the word to get down there for that night. And I think you got the School of Rock actually playing at the fairgrounds that night too. I talked with the guy that was there.
Yeah, on the local stage. Yeah, we got the local stage too.
So
yeah.
you got a real good night of
there's some great bands on that local stage too. Yeah, and then the last night or last Saturday, we have Leonard Skinner tribute.
Yes,
Second Helping.
Yeah,
and they're real good. They were like, I was reading their bio. They were like, some of them were roadies for Skinner, and know the band and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll even perform, and Artemis Pyle or some people play with them. So they were real close. They sound great. They sound really great. Mm-hmm. Did you see the promo for Eyes of the Nile?
Which promo was that? Like, I didn't see it yet. I don't think.
I wonder if I could play it, if I could share my screen somehow or something.
What is it like? What they do? Like a little commercial for it?
Yeah, just like a little commercial with how they sound though. How do I do share screen? Is it on here somewhere?
I don't know if we can play it on here just because that we'll get flagged for copyright infringement if we play music, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's the problem with
it. They sound great. Maybe I'll play 3 seconds. Let's see.
Yeah, play 3 seconds. I don't know if you can do that or not. Let's check it out.
You hear that?
I can't hear it. No.
Oh, you couldn't hear that? They're pretty awesome.
And what do you have on the final Sunday? Something that's not rock and roll related?
Final Sunday, it's again a Hispanic band. So we have a Hispanic band and a mariachi band.
That's great, though. I mean, there's a big Spanish community in town here, exactly. And they just had you guys had I don't know if it was something you did, but they had a Spanish band there over the weekend at the amphitheater with a rodeo going on with it. And the place was packed.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean,
they're trying to do a lot.
Papa Roach is coming to the fairgrounds after the fair too with Rockzilla tour, so it's kind of cool. And Leonard Skinner themselves are back in October, so
yeah,
fair's got a lot of cool.
They were going to be after us, but now they're before us.
Yeah, well, we got.
I thought they were going to be before us, and now they're after us.
Yeah, well, gives them a little more time to promote, I guess. Unfortunately, they got the COVID blues there when they were coming. They had the stage and everything already built, so kind of a nightmare. But
yikes.
So Beach Floyd. You guys are coming back. You're going on to starting 8 o'clock that night and do kind of the same kind of set list. I mean, there was only a few chosen ones that were, you guys came up and played for us like a private party. And I actually, it was raining so hard that me and I think the 6 or 7 of us that were there, and when it really started pouring, we hid in one of Maxwell's beer trucks, and I don't think Mr. Maxwell was too happy with us at first, but we made sure we didn't take any beer, make a mess. But I had to get somewhere to watch the band and stay dry. But yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys. And let's Tom, why don't you introduce the band members?
Okay, well, first, my name is Tom. I do the lead vocals and I play guitar. We've also got our drummer here, Vince DeRosa. I see he's got his new drum kit sitting behind him. When he dyed his hair to match his drum kit.
Oh, wow.
So he's very dedicated to his kit. We've also got here our bass player, Dave Solis, rocking the Beach Floyd t-shirt with the wall playing behind him. And then we've also got our lead guitar player, Kevin Mitchell, who was not here last year for the interview, but I'll stand by it. He's better than David Gilmour. So if you like David Gilmour, then I'm sticking to that.
I appreciate you.
And then also, yeah, and also not able to make it tonight was our keyboardist, John Bowman, and our saxophone player, Nick Flores, but they're both going to be there at the Orange County Fair. And,
Sure.
we all really look forward to coming back and playing, and we're hoping for a little better weather this year.
Yeah, keep it dry. We want dry weather for the fair this year, It could rain Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, right, Ron?
That's right.
Yeah.
Setup week.
Yep, but so you guys play about, it seemed like you guys played like a 3-hour set last year. You guys were still playing even when I was starting to walk out. I think when the fair, but when the lights on the Ferris wheel go out, that the fair is shutting down for the night. And I think you guys continued to play even after that happened. So how long of a set do you guys plan on giving us up here in Middletown?
We're going to give you guys 2 sets, each about an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
Pretty diverse. We like to mix. We're gonna give you guys the hits, the big ones. You're gonna hear the radio tunes, Money, Comfortably Numb, Another Brick in the Wall. And we always like to throw in some deeper cuts too for a lot of the diehard fans that come out. Some stuff off some of the more obscure albums that a lot of the average fans probably aren't too familiar with. So we like to diversify our sets a little bit and give something for everybody.
Some of the early material. Pipers of the Gates of Dawn and stuff like that. Yeah.
And some of the later post, Roger Waters stuff as well.
Yeah, I look forward. You guys, it was so relaxing to be able to hang out at the fair and listen to you guys. A few years ago, I don't know if you booked that one or not. We had the Machine there, which is also Pink Floyd.
No, yeah, I had to book them, but yeah,
they were up here a few years back and actually played in front of the grandstand. And I compare you guys right strong with those guys, and they've been around up here for years, but I give a total thumbs up. You guys sounded amazing last year. And I did look on your Facebook page and I saw that you just played a concert in a different area. You guys are from Virginia Beach, correct?
Yes,
Right.
sir.
And you played a soundtrack to an Alice in Wonderland animated movie. I thought that was pretty cool. I think Ron mentioned that a little bit before.
Yeah, that was a wild one. That was just over this past weekend.
Okay.
And that was we played the 1951 version of Alice in Wonderland, the animated movie, giant 20-foot wide LED screen.
Wow.
And we went through and we carefully chose songs that would synchronize for every, really the entire duration of the movie. So at any part of the movie, we had, music playing where the lyrics kind of synced up to what was going on, or musically it synced up to what was happening on screen, and the transitions all kind of, melded together. It was a wild experience. We put a lot of work into that, and we got amazing feedback from that show. That was a lot of fun.
I know years ago it used to be where you would play, I think, Dark Side of the Moon and go against, wasn't it Wizard of Oz?
Wizard of Oz, yeah.
Were the two that you were supposed to have it. And I remember buying like bootleg VHS tapes that would actually have the footage from Wizard of Oz with the soundtrack.
Yeah, you start Dark Side of the Moon after the third lion roar. When they show the MGM logo, and it's supposed to sync up, and it's pretty cool too. If you've never done that before, that's worth doing when you're bored home alone one night.
I can remember, I'm old enough that I went to see Pink Floyd The Wall in the theater when it came out, so I remember those nights of getting a little bit intoxicated and going to the theater and watching The Wall movie so good times. And of course, where did you come up with the name Beach Floyd? I think we did this interview last year, but maybe not everybody watches it, the same thing. Because you're from Virginia Beach.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the gist of it. We actually started with a different name. Our original band name was called Gerald the Mouse, which is kind of it's a nod to a very early Syd Barrett song called Bike, where he sings a lyric about a mouse named Gerald. So we thought that was kind of, he was kind of tongue in cheek. We thought it was funny, and we thought, the diehard fans would hear that and love it. The problem was, I don't think anybody knew what it meant. So
No.
it didn't really represent what we were trying to do and try to accomplish. We really wanted to send the message that we're a Pink Floyd, tribute band. So after, a year and a half or so, we kind of decided, let's go ahead and just rebrand and make it pretty obvious. And yeah, we're from the beach and we play a lot around the East Coast, North Carolina, Virginia. So it just made sense to go with the beach, and it kind of blended well. We got this cool logo with the wave and the dark side,
Yeah, cool. So you're gonna
logo.
you're gonna sell some of your merch up here at the fair. You're gonna bring
Yeah,
some
we
hats
are.
and shirts?
We have a merchandise stand. We're gonna set it up, and we're gonna be selling t-shirts and hats. So yeah.
So Pink Floyd questions. Let's go around the room, and what's your favorite Pink Floyd album?
Oh, man.
Cool.
I feel like we as a band have this conversation quite frequently, either before or after shows. We kind of talk about it, and I know my answer changes all the time. Today, I feel like I just have to go, probably have to go Wish You Were Here. I just love Shine On You Crazy Diamond and Have a Cigar, Welcome to the Machine, just some all-time classics. And but ask me tomorrow, it'll probably be something different. So that's my answer. I'm gonna go with Wish You Were Here.
What about you, Kevin?
The Wall. The Wall is absolutely my favorite. I've been
Okay.
into it for a long time. My dad got me into it when I was a kid, and I've always had a soft spot for The Wall.
Cool. Moving over to Dave.
So, it's funny because, Pink Floyd was around for so long and had so many albums, and just the way their music evolved, there's really something for any particular mood or that you might be in. But the one that sticks out for me would have to be metal, because that was what introduced me to Pink Floyd through my dad, same as Kevin. I was probably, I think I was 10 or 11 years old, and I used to go to work with him every now and then on the weekends, and he had a hour-long commute. And just one day, he stopped at a record store and bought the cassette and threw it in the car, and we went through that whole album on the way home, and it was wild. And yeah, that sowed the seed.
It almost sounds like someone's picking the song Animals from Dogs from Animals here. It sounds just like the dog from it. Is that your dog, Ron?
That's our theme at band practice.
Somebody's dog is barking.
Cool. It's actually not one of mine this time.
Okay.
I've got a very chatty pit bull, and we have our rehearsals at my place. And yeah, for the first 10 minutes, she's down there just making a racket the whole time.
All right, Vince, what do you say?
The Wall.
A lot of votes for The
Definitely.
Wall.
And my favorite song to perform live is In the Flesh from The Wall. And
Cool.
the rest of the members know that, obviously, ever since I joined.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
He does an epic
stand.
job.
Yeah, I stand right in front of the drum kit, and it's deafening. So
Just for that one song.
We're going to ask Ron what your favorite Pink Floyd album is too, since you're here.
I love One of These Days. So I like metal a lot, but then, I love Mother too. So I like The Wall. But there's a lot of great albums. Tough stuff.
I'm the only one here that's going to pick Dark Side of the Moon, I guess.
Right on.
I just did a show a couple weeks ago. People asking my top 5 albums of all time, and that one made the list. But yeah, it changes all the time.
yeah, I feel like it could easily be Dark Side of the Moon too. That's just
So
absolute
epic.
classic.
So
Yeah.
epic. And I don't know, what else would you guys like to say about the show coming up? I guess we've covered up most of the bases. And how long have you guys been a band?
We've been together a little over 6 years.
Wow. Okay. And how often do you come up into the Northeast? Is this just your second time coming up in this area? You play mostly down south?
This is just our second time coming up. Yeah, we
Cool.
played the Orange County Fair last year, and this will be our second time. And always looking to branch out and continue growing the band. So who knows? Maybe we'll be up there more often in the future.
That's the one advantage to traveling, is I get to see some bands, other people don't get to see in different places. So I Remember that band I brought up from Florida a couple years back, Steve? They played like every night at the 31st lap, called Beach Wolf.
Yeah, I do remember them. Yeah.
They were awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I worked at the Florida State Fair, they used to be. I found them at a bar. Actually, they were playing, and I was like, "These guys are awesome!" And I had them play at the State Fair. And then when I went up to Middletown, I was talking to the guys, and I'm like, "Hey, what do you think about bringing these guys up for Florida?" I'm like, yeah. So they played like every night. It was awesome.
I remember that. What kind of a lineup do you have the lineup for the what we call the 31st lap stage with you? Or
I do actually. Let me look it up for you here.
More local bands, more for that stage, correct or no?
Yes, all local
Okay.
bands. And then there's a few like Elvis impersonator type things, or I think there's a cooking show, some kind of cooking show or something.
Cooking with metal.
It's got some weird thing to it, but it's let's see.
Okay.
Bands, almost there. Supposed to be saying things, Steve.
I'm supposed to be saying something. I'm waiting for you to come up with all your information. I remember about before the pandemic, that was before the amphitheater bar. Most of your bigger acts were at under that tent.
Yeah,
I remember
and then once we built what was supposed to be the horse arena, we said, "Wow, that's an amphitheater. That's not a horse arena."
Okay.
So we threw the stage up against the wall, and it took off.
And it's such a beautiful setup there. I think it's just perfect
really
for
is, isn't it?
concerts. And man, you sure fixed up the 4-H barn. Upstairs, it looks like a great dressing room. You brought me up there. We were hanging out. Not supposed to talk about the dressing room?
Well, no, it's just a nice surprise, right? When you go up there, it's like, wow.
Oh,
This place
okay.
is
Well, these
incredible.
guys were there already, so they saw it.
They
But-
thought so. The local bands that we have this year, he's got a pretty good. They always have that. What's Bob Keegan's band
Bob
name?
Keegan set it up. Yeah.
505 or 50 something or other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Local bands. Bob Keegan list. Here we go. So we have Ladies of the 80s on the 14th.
Okay.
I don't know what that's about. Then 105 Rock and Roll is what I was trying to think of. His band. Sons of Hudson. Whiskey Crossing Band.
Yeah.
747 on the 21st.
Okay.
Bone Tomahawk on the 22nd.
Yeah, I'm good friends with them.
Stories and Cooking with Johnny Chow.
Yeah.
Chiao.
That sounds like
And
more.
then also that night, 105 Rock and Roll. It's supposed to be a pretty good show.
Yeah, okay.
Really high. Then we got the Country Fresh Band.
Mm-hmm.
Sue and the Blind on the 28th.
Yeah.
School of Rock on the 29th, hosted by Bob. Fred
Cool.
Zeppelin
Yeah.
on the 30th.
I've seen him before. Yep. Good show.
Yeah, I saw them a little bit last year. That was a good show. And then there's an Elvis tribute on the 31st.
The King's coming back.
King is back after his movie.
So, hey, I hope everybody can come out to the fair. And last year, I don't know, I was there some nights where I never saw that many people at the fair since the 70s and the 80s.
Nice.
Right? It was certain nights last summer. I think it was just so packed at the fair. And I think if you're planning on going to see some of these bands, try to get down there a little early to park and walk around the fair and come see the Hatford Circus. Circuses are hard to come by, and you've got Royal Hannaford is one of the last circuses left. They're usually under a tent where you have them come here. They play in the arena, and they have a full circus coming in there. And you get two free concerts, right? And you get everything. The stock car races, I don't know exactly what. I know they're on and off during it. They just put a new surface on the track, so a lot of money being put into the fairgrounds. And what amusement companies coming? Is it Dreamland still for the rides?
Dreamland still, yeah.
Cool. And we got monkeys racing dogs, and that was very good last year. And
Riding dogs.
They were
Race each
racing.
other.
Racing dogs or riding dogs or whatever.
Riding dogs.
The dogs are racing as the monkeys ride around. But and
The
Pink
monkeys are
Floyd.
jockeys.
So anything else you guys would like to add from Beach Floyd?
We just really look forward to seeing everybody out at the fair. We're hoping for some better weather this year, and
Mhm.
please come on out if you want to see some authentic Pink Floyd music. It's going to be an amazing show. I promise you that.
Hang out on the grass up there and you could bring your chair in, right? And bring a blanket if you want to sit on the ground and just hang
Yeah.
out and watch Pink
And we've
Floyd.
got VIP tickets. I know it's free with admission, but we also have the VIP area
Oh,
in
yeah.
front with the preferred bar and all that stuff. So that's nice too.
That's right. So all these concerts are free with fair admission, but there is a VIP package.
There is
and
a VIP, $20. I mean,
It's
cheap.
$20 and then you can get right down in front and there's a separate bar.
Yeah, and there's some seating there, and there's a separate bar entrance. You don't have to wait, so it's pretty cool.
Excellent. So I guess why do we go to the website? It's Orange County. What is the website that people can go to, Ron?
OrangeCountyFair.com.
OrangeCountyFair.com. I know sometimes you put Orange County Fair and it shows the one in California because of course there's an Orange County there too that has a fair, but you can find
That's
it
right.
pretty easy. And hey, it's as we film this, we're only a couple weeks away from the fair, and let's
That's
hope
crazy.
everybody could come out and have a good time. We're gonna come back next week and we're gonna do an episode completely on the Rock Fantasy anniversary bash with Eyes of the Nile. We're gonna have them on. We're gonna have Chris Caffery on. We're gonna have some guys from Last Pharaoh and talk about our night of metal at the fair. And I like thank Ron so much for helping me have this outside this year and giving
Thank
we
you.
haven't had a pandemic, haven't had a concert since before the pandemic. We usually do this every year. We used to do it at the Chance Theater with a lot of national acts. And we've been doing it locally at the bowling alley, Quinn's Pins in town. But this year we're trying something new, and hopefully it can be a tradition that we can carry on. And
Nice.
please check out Beach Floyd. Go to their website, check their stuff out, and buy tickets to go VIP and be a VIP with Beach Floyd at the Orange County Fair. How was it? See you there at the Orange County Fair.
Orange County Fair.
That's the
right.
that's the old jingle. I don't know if they use it. And what was the other
Yeah,
one?
we're still using it. PDH is running it.
Pepsi, you know what, you're rocking.
Rocking it. You know, it's summer when they're rocking in Middletown.
Yeah, I remember that one too. All right. So thanks everyone for watching. Take a moment to subscribe to the channel and mention some of your favorite Pink Floyd tracks in the comments. And we'll see you there at the Orange County Fair. Boom.